And a good Thursday to everybody. The 19th of September, 2019. I'm Jewel, and this is the J7409 Tropical Update. My. Look at this map. I have it already over on the 5-day graphical outlook. Of course, Humberto now is well past Bermuda, but it is still a very powerful storm with winds of 125 miles per hour. Now, the pressure is 952 millibars. If you're tracking 35.2 north, 62.2 west, it's moving northeast and it's booking at 22 miles per hour. The biggest threat of Humberto now will be to the mariners and the shippers out in the water area. Then, of course, we have Imelda over here. Imelda right now, as of this morning early, still had winds of 30 miles per hour with a barometric pressure of 1,009 millibars. It's moving northwest at 5 miles per hour. If you're tracking 31.3 north, 95.5 west. Then, of course, we have Jerry. For all of my island friends, I will concentrate on a lot of things for you. Please stick around. The winds are 70 miles per hour. It does look like it's going to become a hurricane. Should remain a Category 1 looking like at this time. The barometric pressure is 995 millibars. If you're tracking 16.4 north, 53.9 west, it's moving west-northwest at 16 miles per hour. Now, when we come to our systems, yes, we have another one. Is it the one that I've been showing? We'll have to wait and see. I think this may be it right here, okay? But we're going to get to it. We're going to check it all out. We're going to check everything out. But first, let's start over here where the smaller area for the X is. It's going to be a big rainmaker for Dominican Republic. I'd say maybe even Jamaica. You may get some rain out of it. It is an elongated area of low pressure associated with a tropical wave. It's just south of the Dominican Republic right now. Although the upper level winds are not conducive for significant development, thunderstorm activity has become more concentrated since yesterday. And a slight development still possible before the system begins to interact with the high terrain of Hispaniola. Regardless of development, though, locally heavy rainfall is possible over portions of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, and I'm going to say Jamaica too, okay? During the next day or two, the disturbance is forecast to move slowly northwestward through the weekend. Very small chance of forming into anything else except this tropical rain system. 10% 2 days, 10% 5 days. It's going to be some sheer wind up here it's probably going to run into. We have dry air all up in these areas also, with sheer wind bouncing around right in these areas. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Now, we're going to go to disturbance number 1. This is a tropical wave. It's about 1,000 miles west of the Cabo Verde Islands. It's got disorganized cloudiness and showers, and some development of this system is possible while the system approaches the Windward Islands this weekend, or when it moves across the eastern Caribbean Sea early next week. Now, it's looking like in the next 2 days, nothing's going to become of it. In 5 days, it does have a 30% chance of forming. We will scrutinize all of this stuff a little further as we go down the line and the days pass by. Now, over here to disturbance number 3. Tropical wave is forecast. This is the one, folks. Tropical wave is forecast to move off the west coast of Africa in a few days. Environmental conditions are expected to become conducive for at least gradual development thereafter while the system moves westward over the far eastern tropical Atlantic. Now, in the next 2 days, it's nothing, 0. 5 days, 20%. All along, this storm has looked like it's going to be in the very latter part of September, or maybe the first week of October. And who knows, we may have a lot of dry air, a lot of sheer wind. We may have something to tear it up and it not form at all. I will keep my eyes on it. So everyone, don't let your guard down. Hurricane season is far from over, folks. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 systems at work as we speak. Now, as we take a look at the tracking map for Jerry, this is Jerry. Should be a hurricane at some point today, okay? Looks like any time coming up, it's going to be a hurricane. This is from the National Hurricane Center. You can see it will be a hurricane. We do have tropical storm watches out for the northern section of the island area. It should come down in strength, then it's going to gain a little strength, and it looks like, watch out Bermuda, you might get some more action going on. We'll have to wait and see. Now for watches and warnings for Jerry. Tropical Storm Watch is in effect, my friends, for Barbuda, Anguilla, St. Martin, St. Barthélemy, Saba, and St. Eustache. I'm sure I probably said that wrong. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Now, you got this tropical storm watch in effect. That's going to give you about 2 days, 48 hours to prepare for it, so go ahead and do so. Additional watches could be issued later, and interest elsewhere in the northern Leeward Islands should monitor the progress of this storm, okay? Now, it's looking like the tropical storm force winds at this time extend 45 miles from the center. And it should be a hurricane later today, as I just showed you on the map, and it should strengthen some for tomorrow and Saturday. The winds may get up to around 80 miles per hour. Now, right here, key messages for Jerry. Tropical storm conditions are possible within the watch area as early as tomorrow. Now, Jerry is expected to produce total rainfall accumulations 1 to 2 inches with maximum of 3 inches across northern Leeward Islands, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. Of course, the surf's going to be a problem with swells generated by this hurricane. It should affect portions of the northern Leeward Islands by later today. These swells are likely to cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions. So please consult your local weather stations and your local officials. If they have anything to tell you, please take heed and do what they say. Now, when it comes to the watches and warnings for Imelda, flash flood watches are in effect for parts of eastern Texas and western Louisiana. You guys do the same. I know this is just no windstorm. The wind's not the problem. It's the rain. And everybody's not getting this rain, but where it is falling very heavily, folks, okay? Flash flooding watches are in effect for portions of eastern Texas and western Louisiana. Please pay attention if you're in any of these areas. Now, the rainfall from Imelda right now is expected to produce the following rain amounts through tomorrow. Now, here we go, right in here. Across upper Texas coast into far southeast Texas, an additional 5 to 10 inches with isolated storm totals of 25 to 35 inches. Across portions of southwest Louisiana, additional 3 to 5 inches with isolated totals of 10 inches. The rest of Texas, expect 2 to 4 inches with isolated totals of around 8. Now, these rainfall totals may produce significant life-threatening flash flooding. This isn't like a gradual flooding. This is a flooding that happens all of a sudden. The water comes up in a matter of minutes and you can't get out. Please listen to your local weather stations and listen to your local weather authorities. Please do that. Do not drive. If you see the water coming up, don't even go get in your car and try to drive, because if it only takes a small amount. It only takes like 12 inches of rain to move your car wherever it wants to take it. It only takes 6 inches of water over the roadway to move a grown human being. So please do not try to drive through this water if you see it standing on the highways. I'm going to leave you with this look here right quick of everything that's going on. I will say I have done a lot of research this morning. You know me, I'm always into something. And when it comes to this particular system here, if it were to develop like one model, doesn't mean it's going to, and don't go saying Jewel or J7409 said this, that, and the other, because I have to wait just like you guys to see what happens and do my homework in between. But if it did develop like that particular model is showing, when it gets closer over, it's going to be a little different following than like these are going right now, because we're going to have a huge low pressure system over here. We're going to have a high here and a high here, and then a Humberto is going to be pulled up by a low pressure system that's really big. It's going to pull it on out, and we'll have this little itty bitty low, not this one, but we'll have an itty bitty low right down here. But what I am thinking is by the time this actually moves across, it's going to follow a low pressure gradient line. That's what it looks like now. Remember, all this can change. It probably will be different. I'm just telling you what it looks like this morning, okay? It would come up some, but then it would come around. And one of my biggest fears is this big low pressure and this high pressure. It gets caught up in between right in this area, and this keeps pushing and this keeps going, and they meet. That could be ingredients for a perfect storm. Not saying that's going to happen. Let's pray it don't. Just thought I'd point that out. That's what I found this morning. Of course, all of this can change. It probably will change, so don't panic. Just wanted to toss that bit of information out to you. I love you guys so much. I'll be back later with some more information on all these things that's going on with these systems. Everybody, hurricane season is a far cry from over. We've got the rest of this month, all of next month to go through. You can see what's happening right now later on in this hurricane season. So please, everybody, have your kits ready, your plans ready, in case you may need them at some point. Thank you guys for everything you do for me. I love you so much. May each of you have a good day, a safe day, a blessed day. Pass this information along on your social media and to your friends and family to help me keep everybody safe. I would appreciate it. Peace, love, and kindness to all. Thanks so much for watching.